Well, I imagine that if you are a political player in these kind of situations and already a member of the Provincial Executive Committee and serving in the provincial government, you would have few objections to taking up a position as Premier. It really is an opportunity for them to lead the province and direct how it carries out the work of governance. But of course, you are right. Sisi Ntombela does walk into some kind of a minefield there, particularly given the reports that have come out recently, the report from the Public Protector on the Estina Dairy Project, and also the work that is being done by investigative and prosecutorial agencies, and also given what the Public Protector has said about the reluctance that she says she encountered from the executive that was led then by Ace Magashule as she was carrying out her work. But I mean, it really is one facet of many facets. She also has to lead a situation where local government, for example, needs to be strengthened, and people have seen a few reactions that say, well, she was in charge of local government in the Free State, and you have situations like the one we are seeing in a municipality like Maluti Apofong, for example, that people say developed under her tenure. But of course, I mean, it then becomes a debate. How much can you attribute to her directly as former MEC and now about to be Premier of the Free State? But interesting choices, really, because of course, you know, if you look at the situation in terms of the chairperson of the province, both provinces, Mpumalanga and Free State, have to go through processes that will choose and elect a substantive provincial chairperson, unless these two women who've now been chosen to be premiers stand and are elected in those processes, well, you will end up with a situation that the ANC tends to have difficulty in managing what they say is the friction between the leadership of the ANC in a province and the leadership of government in that particular province. It's dynamics that are very similar to the dynamics we saw at national level after Cyril Ramaphosa was elected president of the ANC and Jacob Zuma was still president of the country. And of course, we did hear the ANC saying that it is beginning to be problematic by the time the former president Jacob Zuma left office. All
right, very quickly, in a few seconds, if I can ask you to just wrap up the other key points that came out, the land being one issue, the Eastern Cape Conference as well, and also a question about Nelson Mandela Bay. Very, very quickly for us, please.
The two key issues for me that came out also were the disputes in the Eastern Cape, where the ANC is basically urging members to make sure that they exhaust all internal processes, including the the structure that has been established in terms of the constitution of the ANC, that is the National Dispute Resolution Committee, and also in the issue of the Free State, where there were complaints about the interim structure that has been set in place to guide the province to its next elective conference following that disputed conference that was annulled by a court in December last year. The ANC saying that they've heeded those pleas and they've basically expanded that structure, that interim structure, by including 6 more people, including people who are veterans of the ANC in that particular province.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you very much. Thulasizwe Simelane at the NWC briefing. Angelo Fick, thanks for giving us some insight into these new premiers-elect of the Free State and Mpumalanga. Let's check in.